Kabuto is a shinobi that people rarely talk about, as he doesn't have any memorable moments in this series other than his role during the war arc. He is shown to be a very skilled shinobi that later becomes one of the most hacked out characters in the series, but he's best known for being Orochimaru's top lapdog. So the question I'm going to be answering in this video is, how strong is Kabuto? So in part 1, we're introduced to Kabuto during the Chunin exams. We don't learn much of his strength during this time due to him secretly gathering intel for Orochimaru. But we do see that Kabuto is capable of taking out the likes of the Anbu Black Ops, who are some of the most elite ninja in the village that are handpicked by the Kage themselves. It's also stated that Kabuto is on the same level as Kakashi. Keep in mind that he is stated to be in the least strongest shinobi, making Kabuto scale above the likes of Asuma and possibly even to Might Guy. Now I know that due to his lack of feats, this scene seemed a lot more skeptical than anything, but Kabuto does pull off an impressive escape against Kakashi, which left him worried that if Kabuto were for Orochimaru, that he would be obsolete. Now this could mean that Kakashi thought he would lose to him if they fought, or just that he wouldn't be able to stop him from taking Sasuke. Because in the anime, Kakashi said that he would need to try harder, so it really depends on how you interpret it. So right now, Kabuto can be considered as powerful as some of the strongest leaf shinobi, but he does show some feats that make him appear even more impressive as he fights against Tsunade, one of the Sani. In part 1, the Sani are pretty much described as some of the strongest shinobi you could ever come across. Even Kabuto himself understood just by reputation alone that they were very powerful. But he does do very well against Tsunade, as he was able to back her into a corner, so much so that she was forced to use a jutsu that disrupts his nervous system out of desperation. She even states that Kabuto's jutsu instincts and sharpness surpass even her own in her prime, which is high praise coming from someone like Tsunade, as her combat skills on the battlefield were considered second to none. We also see that Kabuto was able to tag her multiple times while being able to evade her, which should imply that Kabuto scales above Tsunade. But many people do ignore the fact that Kabuto himself took precautions before fighting her, such as the changing of locations, which led to Tsunade chasing him for a while, which caused her to end up fatigued. There was also her hemophobia, which shut her down completely during the fight when Kabuto cut her. And also, Kabuto was enhanced due to taking food pills, so we can't say that he scales given the situation and obvious factors. As even Orochimaru himself claimed that Kabuto was no match for him, and Tsunade is supposed to be equal or around his level. Kabuto also has great skill when it comes to medical ninjutsu and the manipulation of dead corpses. And his chakra scalpel is also very useful, as it can cause internal damage such as severing the muscle or tendon, rendering a person immobile. This jutsu could be also used to sever the chakra pathway system, which prevents a Jinchuriki from receiving chakra from their tailed beast. Now in Shippuden, we don't see much feats from Kabuto and his base other than him getting completely bashed by Three Tails Naruto, as he just barks at Kabuto and sends him flying like it took no effort at all. So it's safe to say that he doesn't even scale to people like Heavy Sasuke at this point in the series. Later on, we learn that he implanted a piece of Orochimaru's corpse into his own body. He does express greatly how these cells are increasing his power and they only took over 1/3 of his body. This increase of power was demonstrated during a short scuffle where he casually swaps hands with base Naruto and easily evades Yamato. Now we really don't know how strong Kabuto becomes when Orochimaru's cells fully take over, as we never actually see him fight in base. He only has a couple of scuffles where he just captures Yamato and Anko, nothing that really shows what he's truly capable of. But I would say that in this form he probably rivals to the Sannin, although that's just a theory, but it's clear that Kabuto is stronger than he was before. Now when it comes to Sage Mode Kabuto, we don't really have too much to go off, as he only has one fight against Edo Itachi and EMS Sasuke. But believe it or not, this one fight tells us a lot more about Kabuto's strength in Sage Mode, as he shows that he can handle both Itachi and Sasuke. We see that he was able to outspeed Edo Itachi a few times and force both Uchihas into a corner multiple times despite the usage of their Susanos. But at the same time, Itachi and Sasuke were able to react to Kabuto's attacks and respond with some of their own. Now it's stated in the volume summary that both Sasuke and Itachi needed to work together in order to take down Kabuto, which should tell us that neither one of them would be able to defeat Kabuto on their own. This proves to be accurate, as there are moments that Kabuto placed them in situations where they would have lost if they didn't have one another. On top of that, Kabuto has an insane move kit, as he has access to both Team Taga's and the Sound Force abilities and Kekkei Genkai's, such as Karin's healing abilities, Jugo's Kekkei Genkai, which allows him to constantly absorb nature energy, allowing Kabuto to maintain his Sage Mode indefinitely. There's Sugetsu's Kekkei Genkai, which allows a person to liquefy their body, making it harder for them to take damage from physical attacks. There's Kimamaru's bone manipulation Kekkei Genkai, which he used to manipulate the area around them. He also has access to Taieida's flute genjutsu, which forced both Sasuke and Itachi to use their MS to break out of, due to it being amped by nature energy. There's Kidomaru's webs. Both Sasuke and Itachi needed to use Amaterasu to stop it, yet they couldn't fully burn it away. And then there's Jorobo's Earth Style and Sakon's body splitting Kekkei Genkai. Alongside this, Kabuto has some very powerful senjutsu at his disposal, such as the White Extreme Attack. This attack paralyzes one's sight and hearing with the light and sound it generates. The sound was so intense that EMS Sasuke couldn't even maintain his Susanoo. He even states that the sound was rattling his bones, and Kabuto is the only person who can maneuver in these conditions, as he has the ability to liquefy his entire body to flow with the sound and vibration, and he also can shut off his eyesight, which also makes him immune to any visual genjutsu. There's also his inorganic animation, where he can manipulate inorganic substances by filling the atmosphere with nature energy. And Kabuto's sensory capabilities are drastically increased. This is shown when he dodges Sasuke Susanoo's arrow without even looking. Now, the typical argument for some people is that Itachi wasn't going all out because he wasn't trying to kill Kabuto. Let me make this very clear. Itachi was absolutely trying against Kabuto, it's just that he wasn't fighting him with any killing intent. There are even moments in Naruto where characters will go at each other like they are trying to kill someone, but they don't actually deal the finishing blow, meaning that they are trying their best to take them down but not take them out. Some examples of this are the bell test fight between Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi, as well as the fight between Killer Bee and Team Taka. So this should end the ridiculous claim of Itachi not trying his best. There's also no indication that either Sasuke or Kabuto was holding back either. So it's clear that Kabuto is stronger than both Edo Itachi and EMS Sasuke individually, which would make him skill higher than the likes of KCM Naruto. This shouldn't be a shock, as we've seen both Edo Itachi and EMS Sasuke fight on par with KCM Naruto. Granted, Itachi was fighting a fatigued Naruto, but this shouldn't matter too much, as we've seen Sasuke fight along with a mastered version of KCM Naruto, and Edo Itachi is supposed to be on par with him according to the data books. There's also some people who would place Kabuto on the same level as KCM2 Naruto. Personally, I wouldn't, because I think the gap between KCM2 Naruto and EMS Sasuke is implied to be wide, but it really depends on how you scale them. There's also a statement made by Kabuto that I want to quickly go over. He claims that he is the closest thing in the world to the Sage of Six Paths, and the Uchiha are nothing compared to him. This would imply that Kabuto thinks he's even stronger than the likes of Edo Madara and White Mask Obito, which is a bold claim, especially since Kabuto gave Madara the cells of the only shinobi Madara himself claimed could stop him. The issue with this statement is that Kabuto is going through an identity crisis. This is explained in chapter 356 of how Kabuto felt lost after Sasuke defeated Orochimaru. Then once he fully obtained Orochimaru's power, he became so full in himself to the point he thought he couldn't fail, like it was impossible. So I can't say that Kabuto is really thinking logically when he was making this statement. So that's about it. I think I made it clear on how strong Kabuto is, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe and share the video. This would really help my channel out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.